Alright, so I just saw a little movie called Dracula Untold. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, go fucking watch it right now. Holy shit, I cannot believe this movie came out 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and I'm just now getting around to watching it. This is a superhero movie. No joke. This is not a horror movie. This is not a historical movie. This is a straight up superhero movie. And I fucking love it. It's like a great origin story. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. The director, I think it's Gary Shore, and this is his first movie ever, and his only movie. He hasn't been able to make another movie since this. And then I went to go look at the review scores, and I see why. Critics fucking destroyed this guy's career because he made this movie. I mean, it's like a 20-something on Rotten Tomatoes, and every review is just talking about how it's not a Dracula horror movie, and how it's not, like, historically accurate. I am yet to see a review talk about the actual movie. And all I'm wondering is, like, did anybody fucking watch this movie? Like, holy shit. I want Gary Shore to make a DC film. Like, that's fucking clearly what he should do right now. Where's Warner Brothers? How do we get them to hire this guy? Holy hell, he could be perfect for Green Lantern, or Etrick and the Demon, or some other dark superhero. Like, this guy has some real potential. I'm shocked he's yet to make another movie past Dracula Untold. Like, this is his only fucking film. This is a superhero movie. This is exactly what I want a superhero movie to be. It's to the point. It's nice and quick. There's no fat on it. There's no needless exposition. It's all important, you know? And I'm just like blown away how some guy that's completely new to making full-length films like this, these huge budget films, this is his first one ever, and he put together a movie that has a cohesive narrative, that has a beginning, middle, and end, that makes logical sense for the story being told, has emotional moments in it. I almost cried 2 times in this movie, okay? Like, my eyes were tearing up bad. Like, if I was a woman, I'd be crying, okay? Like, that's how much of emotional, that's how heavy the emotions are in this movie. And I would have never thought I would get emotional over a fucking Dracula movie. This is insane. How has this person only directed one film? I don't know. I just had to share that because I literally just saw this movie. I got the Blu-ray from a friend. I had a friend that watched it. He said it was really good. And I'm like, Dracula Untold? Pfft, what? I thought that movie bombed. Didn't all the critics say it was horrible? Never listen to fucking critics. Never listen to fucking critics. That's the lesson to be told. If I'm ever teaching a lesson on this channel, is don't listen to these fucking critics or YouTube critics or even when I critique something. Don't listen to it. Just judge this shit for yourself. Because goddamn, this fucking Dracula movie is good. This is a good movie. Watch this movie. Luke Evans kills it. He carries this whole movie. And you believe he's Vlad the Impaler. And by the way, this movie mixes in a real historical figure, Vlad the Impaler, and the fictional character Dracula in Transylvania, the country he's from. They mix the two together, and you get some blend of history and high fantasy. And it's just like the King Arthur Legend of the Sword movie that came out earlier. It's just like that. High fantasy movie that feels just like a fucking superhero film. It's like a perfect origin for a superhero, this movie. And it's darker because it's Dracula, you know, it has to do with vampires and blood. And God, it's just so awesome. If you haven't seen this movie, go see this. This is definitely worth at least one watch, okay? This is an hour and 30 minutes. It's not even that long of a film. And you get a full story out of it. I mean, it's been a while since I've been this satisfied from a movie that's an hour and 30 minutes long. Like, I felt it was the perfect length. I felt like the movie was perfectly paced. The editing was well done. Everything was edited together real well. Fight scenes were amazing. But honestly, in between the fight scenes, the shit that matters, the shit that wants you to keep watching, that shit was good, you know? I watched the film twice. Like, I watched it, and then I had to rewatch it, okay? And I enjoyed it just as much the second time. And not just because the action scenes are awesome, which they are. Action scenes are fucking epic as hell. But the fucking story is epic. And somehow this director has made Dracula a Shakespearean type of fucking movie. Like, it's like a Shakespearean play. It's like a tragic tale. It's fucking amazing. Oh, I can't believe this movie got underappreciated the way it did. Like, it bombed horribly at the box office. This was supposed to start the monster universe for Universal, right? I think that's what it was supposed to do. And since it bombed at the box office and the critics destroyed it for no fucking reason, Universal has been constantly, trying to reboot this monster universe, and they might still be going through with it, I know The Mummy came out, and I heard that one was really bad. Critics say it's really bad, but I'm going to have to see the movie before I judge if it's good or bad. But that's supposed to be tied into this Dracula movie. And this Dracula movie, spoilers, Dracula Untold, the movie ends in modern day. So, holy shit, this was supposed to tie into a bigger universe. And it's just such a fucking shame that it got buried before it had a chance to flourish. Because the first movie in any series isn't perfect, okay? It's always the sequels that improve on it, And I think you can find good examples of that with video games, right? Usually the first game in a video game series is shit. It's kind of shit. It's usually the second and third games that improve on the gameplay, improve on the storytelling. That's when you get a great game. Red Dead Redemption is the sequel to Red Dead Revolver, okay? And look how much better it is than Red Dead Revolver. Uncharted 2, sequel to the first Uncharted. First Uncharted has aged horribly. The game doesn't even look that good. Uncharted 2 is still one of the greatest games of all time. And can you imagine how good Last of Us 2 is going to be? Because the first game was amazing. Can you imagine how good the second game is going to be? But anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about video games. But I'm just saying that sequels usually improve upon what's already there. And Dracula has a great base, as a great starting point. What a great way to start a fucking universe. And it gets you really invested in Luke Evans as Dracula. I mean, I want to see more of it. But we're never going to see more of it because it made nothing. It barely made any money. But anyway, that's what I think of Dracula Untold. If you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. I just had to talk about it because it ties in perfectly to what I always talk about on this channel, and that's DC movies. And what other movie franchises get hounded by critics relentlessly for no fucking reason? DC movies. And Dracula Untold is in the same fucking position that every DC movie seems to be in. It's because the critics were hounding this movie so bad, nobody went to go see it opening night. No one went to go see it while it was in theaters. When it matters. That's when the money matters to a movie, when it's in theaters. That's when studios decide, are we going to continue doing this? Are we going to make a sequel to Dracula? And, critics are probably responsible for burying this movie. It fucking sucks. Because they've been trying to bury DC for, a while. It's not quite working. But it's having its toll. It's taking its toll. And now I want Gary Shore, the director of Dracula Untold, to direct a DC movie. Any DC movie. Because he belongs in the DC family. This man knows how to put together a film. He knows how to put together a cohesive narrative that's dark but fun at the same time, He could really make a dark universe, DC universe movie, with Constantine or Etrigan the Demon, one of those characters. I feel like this Gary Shore guy would be perfect for that. And since Dracula Untold's the only full-length feature film he's actually done, and he hasn't done anything since, and that was 2014, he's definitely going to do another film sometime in the future. And what studio's going to get him? I think Warner Brothers should try to get him on something. They should try to work with him on something, because he's definitely a good young talent that is going to easily get better, It's clear he's good, and he's going to get better. The potential is there. And, while we're talking about failed movie franchises, King Arthur Legend of the Sword, its director, Guy Ritchie, the director of Sherlock Holmes and all those movies, since King Arthur kind of failed critically and financially, I don't think they're going to be moving forward with that franchise. So, DC, you got another director right here, Guy Ritchie, fucking great director. Why not get him on a DC movie? Why isn't Guy Ritchie directing The Flash? Why not? Anyway, yeah, that's it for now. Have you seen Dracula Untold? Let me know what you think about it. Would you want to see this Gary Shore director direct a DC film? Because if he's not directing a DC film, I wonder what his next film's going to be. Because this guy seems like he's perfect for a superhero film. And the same goes for Guy Ritchie. But, that's it for now. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.